Welcome back to the Wine and Dime Pod, the place where we drink wine and talk hoops. I'm Chris and that's Lyndsey. We're back. The season is officially underway. Most of the team's about 10 games in, and we're starting to kind of figure out who sucks and who does not. We also got a little bit of WNBA stuff to talk about as well. You know, the sun never sets in the WNBA. Is a year-round enterprise.
Especially with contentious CBA talks. The deadline did indeed get extended. Our last episode came out right before the extension date, and we weren't sure they were going to, but I think everyone realizes the strike is bad for everyone. At the end of the day, yeah, I guess we can start off with that, but first we should just introduce the wine real quick. We're drinking some Rioja. We went to Spain. Honestly, no real reason other than we'll just give some credit to the Spanish women's national team is like
I got a
7
reason. I
Okay,
got a reason.
hit me.
Garcia for the Spanish national team, the U20 team, hit the game winner for Kansas State the other day at the buzzer.
There you go.
So shout
Well,
out to
it's
Spain.
actually perfect too because their team is ranked second in Europe right now, so they're
There you go.
Spain's back on top. So, anyways, this is the LAN Rioja by Bodegas LAN, and the LAN is basically like the what it stands for is the three provinces that make up Rioja.
I was wondering.
Yeah, so those three provinces are Logroño, Alava, and Navarra. So that's what that means is essentially. But yeah, it's just like a really classic Rioja. It's 96% Tempranillo. It's aged in American and French oak, which is kind of fun. The American oak is much stronger, so that's why you can taste a lot of spice. At least I taste a lot of spice. It's like pretty dry. Classic Rioja, I think, to be honest. Definitely a nicer version than the one we had previously. Shout out to my homie Janine for the recommendation for a good quality Spanish wine that's also pretty affordable. And shout out to the LCBO for finally carrying something we wanted on our first try. This is the first time we've had the wine I chose on the first try actually was available for both of us. So this is
It also had it had two covers available, like two different packagings for the
yeah,
same vintage. We both chose the same one without coordinating. So, you know, great minds,
it's nice.
great minds. Yeah, it's way better than just the giant red block letters. Like that wasn't that fun.
Yeah, it kind of cheapened the look of the wine. This is much
Yeah,
classier and nicer, and
yeah.
like it is actually quite tasty. Shout out to Bodega Slan for this. It's quite nice. Yeah, I could definitely. I don't know. I'm still coming around on Tempranillo. I'm still not sure if it's my favorite thing in the world, but this is nicer than the Campo Viejo that we had previously. Obviously, just nicer quality to be honest. But I'm enjoying this a little more. The winemaking style is a little easier. So
Also, the Rioja DOC logo is pretty adorable. I like it.
yeah, this is certainly like more of a tier up from the Campo Viejo that we had. So we can talk about this when we power rank at the end of the episode. But for now, yeah, I don't know, quite tasty. I'm into it. Yeah, I guess should we dive in then? The
Let's do
WNBA.
it.
Hopefully, they haven't reached an agreement, but they probably won't be striking, at least not yet. So the extension was met, which is really like I don't know. It's a good thing at the end of the day. As much as we support the players if they do decide to strike, I think that a strike is bad for everybody, and everyone knows that. So they'll figure something out, but the sides seem to be very far apart. Although there has been significantly less posturing in the media since the extension. Like Fee has been a lot more quiet. You haven't really heard as much from players, and some of that is a lot of the players are abroad now, back overseas, and Unrivaled is kind of getting going. So I guess Fee
Yep.
has been busy with that. So there's going to be pressure still, and especially with Unrivaled this new season being in Philly, a city that wasn't on the WNBA expansion list, but that everyone would like to be on the expansion list. So kind of a cool. I think Unrivaled did that on purpose. To be perfectly honest, everything they do is for a reason. I wouldn't be shocked if they chose to go to Philly for a reason.
Yeah, the two sides in the labor dispute are kind of in a weird limbo state right now, where there's reportedly not been any movement toward like breaking the stalemate. Neither side has really made headway in either direction. Other sides are still reportedly very far apart. But at the same time, they've announced that, hey, this is the draft date. This is, like the date of free agency will open and all that. So things are, they want you to think that, they want us to feel like everything's going to happen according on schedule, but who knows? I still feel like a lockout may be in the cards, but I'm not as plugged in as others, obviously.
No, it's definitely still possible, though. I agree. But there's nothing like we're not in the clear by any means by having this agreement go like extend, but at least it gives some time to allow for that. But yeah, I mean, everyone seems to be operating business as usual. Everyone's hiring coaches, the Wings, Portland, Toronto, all the two expansion franchises. Everyone's hiring coaches. People are proceeding as normal, so we'll see what happens there. But that's interesting if there hasn't been a lot of movement. It's just like they got the extension and then everyone just kind of chilled out. They're like, okay, cool, we have time now. Curious to see who puts the first like feelers out there to try and know the first olive branch to try and do this. Maybe it's, some owners in are part of like the committee. I mean, it's the WNBA side is the negotiating side is very challenging because it's not just the players. Not just the WNBA itself. It's the NBA. It's everybody. So I don't know. It's like probably the most complicated collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah. You got a league that's owned by another league, but then there's individual owners of teams, and it gets very murky very quickly. Even more complicated than the typical owner collectives that tend to make up these big pro sports leagues in North America. So it's just fucking weird.
It makes a lot more sense when you're discussing like the NFLPA versus the NFL and their last CBA agreement or the NBA. It's easier to be like, okay, it's the 30 NBA owners versus the unified front of 400 and however many players. And Adam Silver's in the middle. This is definitely not to defend Kathy by any means, but she certainly has more stakeholders on her side that she has to be accountable to than just the WNBA owners, and that does make the job as a WNBA commissioner a little bit more challenging. And I do sort of wonder if that will hinder, or not hinder, but change the quality or the type of candidates that the WNBA gets for future commissioners, just based on the fact that it is a significantly more complicated and kind of fucked up space.
Yeah, when your commissioner answers to another commissioner of another league, it's a little tough, because that's typically the kind of situation you'd only get in like minor leagues, right? But this is the top women's professional league, and it is answers to the top men's professional league, which is a weird situation.
And it's a bit confusing to know how much she actually does answer to Adam.
Right. It's never been abundantly clear.
It's never been very clear. And that's like, I think the biggest thing that the players have been pushing for is transparency, is the fact that nobody really knows how any of this works. Like, the league is really murky in terms of its transparency on how how it operates, how it spends money, where money goes, how much it makes, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's very confusing and stressful, frankly, to pay attention to. And it's kind of like, this CBA is really pivotal in the future, deciding like the future of the league. It's very important in the sense that I think this is kind of a make or break CBA. I think for the WNBA to truly like get to where it wants to go, it's like to become that next step and become that like first really massive like super like women's league, kind of have that like status that the NBA and those leagues have. Like, the CBA is incredibly important. And they can't fuck it up, because if they fuck it up, this could also like have so much detriment to the league forever, right? And I think that the ownership situation is like does not make that easier. And so I don't know, it's kind of scary. And then there's also a lot of more external pressure for the WNBA. There's new leagues trying to vie for attention. I mean, the good news is for the W is that all of them still remain in the off season, so they're still not the WNBA. But it's there's going to be pressure, especially since these leagues are offering equity, like Unrivaled did, and now this new Saudi-backed league, which is a whole other thing.
And they got Neko Gumake to sign up too, who's kind of a key figure in these labor talks, actually. So that's
it's very conspicuous that the two top members of the WNBA PA are both involved in leagues that give them ownership equity, but now Unrivaled and now this Project B, I think it's called right now.
Yeah.
I want to know why Maverick Carter backed out of this league.
I know he got roasted on Twitter really hard, but that can't be the only reason he backed out. Because people were just like, why don't you just invest in the WNBA? And he's like, that we never heard anything really publicly from him about backing out.
He was just that he was on that yacht with Jokic's agent and LeBron.
Trying to do the NBA Europe shit too. I think they were also involved in that.
It sounds like this is the league they were actually talking about, though. They were trying to do like men's stuff, and it kind of fell through, and then they decided like we'll keep the women's side. What I'm genuinely, and maybe that's why Maverick bailed, is because the men's side of the game kind of fell through. But I don't think he's someone who would balk at Saudi money, because he certainly hasn't balked at Chinese money. So I don't think that's the issue either for him. I'd be surprised, anyways. So I'm kind of confused, but anyway, this league concerns me for a number of reasons. I'm all for players getting their money. I'm not so sure that this is like the best option, but I mean, who am I to judge? I don't really have the ability to stand on the soapbox on a podcast we do for free. In fact, pay money to make. So who am I to say this? But I'm not in the business of counting other people's money. But I think that this league has some integrity issues, and I think that for players of the WNBA, this is very like it makes it very easy to take you less seriously in your social justice cause, to be honest.
Yeah.
So Sierra in The Ringer really summarized this well when she was sort of explaining the convoluted mess that is the WNBA labor dispute. And she talked about this league and the she essentially summed it up as a Faustian bargain, and it's true. It's one of those situations where it's like, at what cost are you willing to go to get paid?
Mm.
Because you might have to sell your soul to the devil in some senses. Because even though they've done a very good job of trying to separate themselves from the league and make it look like they're not involved, the Saudi investment fund certainly is still involved. And anytime they're involved, that means that, I don't know, it's just sketchy. Like they're trying to sports wash essentially. Like, for anyone who's unfamiliar, that's sort of a term that's been used to describe like trying to wash your reputation through sporting events. It's kind of what the Olympics have become for a lot of countries.
Yep.
It's what the World Cup has become in lots of cases.
PSG, Man City, clubs like that as well.
Yeah, right. Even like, Riyadh getting Cristiano Ronaldo, right? And the fact that they're like
There's
willing
two reputations that needed laundering there.
a lot of laundering going on.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
ask somebody why Ronaldo never goes on team preseason tours to the United States. Somebody ask him.
Yeah, ask the question.
I wonder.
Like that goose, like that meme of the goose, the meme of the goose chasing out. Ask why? Why can't he come to the United States? I'm gonna bring that meme up again later in our next suck down segment. But anyway, we'll get there. Speaking of complicated issues, I don't know. I'm not opposed to people, and I know that it's mostly fronted by like Silicon Valley people, which doesn't necessarily make it better. To be perfectly honest, it doesn't really make it sound less.
No, yeah, not really. No.
Like, I don't know, they're kind of on the same level to me to some extent.
As a Bay Area native, I gotta say, oh man, it sucks. It's terrible.
Yeah, right? I mean, I think the format of the league is really fascinating, but I also think it's kind of like clearly just rich people trying to spend their money on shit, and then they want to make other people rich, and that's okay. But like, the athletes are gonna get paid, and that's awesome, but they're also gonna have to travel like an insane schedule because they're gonna play in 8 international cities. It's kind of like the F1 schedule, basically, is what they're modeling it after. It almost just feels like this is like the live golf, like every opportunity for the Saudis to get involved in something, right? And I don't know, it's just like uncomfortable for me, and especially considering like if they do play in the Middle East, which they certainly will, I would be shocked if they didn't play in like Saudi Arabia or like the UAE or somewhere. The players are gonna have to live with the fact that, like, first of all, so many of them are gay, they can't be there, but they'll be allowed to be in their own privates. Like, they're gonna get away with, not get away with, they're gonna have rights to things that people who live in that country don't have.
Right.
And
Right.
they're typically the first ones to speak up against, um, injustice, right? I mean, so I was like, someone like Tasha Cloud, she hasn't obviously committed to playing, she's unrivaled, but she's not going to Project B, for instance, but like she would be someone that it would be kind of surprising if she signed up, considering she actually is fairly like upfront about international politics. She talks about like Congo, Sudan, and what's happening in Gaza. Like I said, I don't think she's associated with it. I mean, and this isn't to say Nneka's not involved, because obviously she's like Nigerian and trying to play for Team Nigeria, so like it's just kind of awkward. I don't know. Like, I feel weird about it, and that's just my opinion. And again, I'm not trying to say that I'm gonna dislike a player more for going there, but I don't know. Like, I'm still not gonna ignore it either. I don't think that's
all money ain't good money, right? Like, all money ain't good money,
Yeah, and I mean, I guess you could say the same thing for players going to, say, like Russia to play in EuroLeague, but at least EuroLeague is like, it is through a team. That's not the Russian government necessarily, right? Like, still some sketchy fucking people.
Right.
Diana Taurasi will be they did a podcast on it. That man was
sketchy. We didn't know what he did. We just knew he was rich.
Yeah. He got murdered, but
damn, crazy.
In Moscow, in a time when mob murders were pretty much the thing. Crazy. But as far as I know, UMMC, for instance, not associated that way. Regardless, like, Russian billionaires always sketchy. Every billionaire's sketchy, though. Let's be honest. You don't get to be a billionaire by being a nice person.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But this Project B thing, it's weird because it's easy to equate it with these other leagues that have all these other problems too. But there's something about it. I think because of the timing as well. Just when it's women's basketball is at its peak, and it's this doesn't feel like a genuine investment for anything other than like, well, this is now popular, so let's make some money.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Same shit, different day, right? The next World Cup gonna be like that. Olympics, all that, man, all of it.
Oh yeah, always is. It's weird. I'm not opposed to it. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm always someone who's willing to talk about politics and sports because it's hard to ignore. I just also wish it didn't have to be involved. I wish we could have these sporting events without it having to be so political,
Right.
It would be nice, but
yeah, it'll be a great luxury for sure.
Incredibly not possible. So
yeah.
I hope NECA gets everything she wants. They do.
Damn, you hit her with the if you like it, I love it.
No,
That's
like I don't
crazy.
know. I want people to get her. I want people to get what they want, right? Like I want them to be treated how they're supposed to be. And like NECA's been
Hmm.
treated like garbage for a lot of her time in the WNBA and even by FIBA, right? This whole dispute about her being able to play for, she got like fucked over on Team USA multiple times,
Hmm.
and then FIBA won't approve her to go play for Nigeria. She's never suited up for Team USA, so she should be able to. If Embiid can change teams, why can't she? But just she's been screwed a lot. So I do genuinely hope that like this league for the players who go, that it does work out for them, that like everything goes off without a hitch. But it's definitely just kind of uncomfortable. It feels like that the Super League in Premiership soccer, like how they tried to sort of like those teams tried to exit, and fans are like, "Fuck that." Yeah, players get paid enough. This is really just for you guys to get paid. So I don't know. It's all kinds of uncomfortable all around. I think, and this is, I guess, the other thing too with the WNBA, with more billionaires becoming involved, also, right? I mean, they're inviting these richer owners in, and it's like seen as a good thing, and it largely is because it does and bring more investment. But at the same time, you're also inviting a whole bunch of other, I guess, more questionable things into your lives. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like when you look at a league that grows in explosive fashion, the type of people who get to own teams becomes very different very quickly. Like there's never going to be a Davis family again where they're rich because they own the Raiders.
Or
You
the
know what I
West
mean?
End
Like
family.
now you have to be one of the richest people on earth to own the Raiders. You know what I mean? If you wanted to
Yeah,
buy the Raiders right now, you need to come with 30, 40 billion. You know what I mean? You got to have that kind of wealth. Back in the day, man, a guy could coach the Raiders and then become the owner of the
I
Raiders.
mean, you
It is
could
a
be Paul
different type of
Brown
rich.
and get fired from your team and decide to go start a new team in the same state.
Exactly. Took the ball, ran away. Like that's what he did.
Literally, he's like, "Fuck you! You fired me. I'm just gonna start my own fucking team."
Exactly. I'm
And
gonna
then we're
play with
gonna
my new friends.
dupe you into trading us Joe Flacco like 70 years, 100 years later, and it's gonna be
Yep.
great. Yeah.
Joe Flacco. People don't know this. Went to college with Paul Brown.
Fuck. I don't know. It's true though. I mean, and it is funny that you mentioned the Davis family, given that Mark Davis is like a WNBA investor, right, or owner, right?
Sure is.
Because like he is weirdly probably the most moral billionaire who's involved in the WNBA.
Yeah, and that wasn't the case. He was the big spender as little as 3, 4 years ago, and now the money that's getting tossed around that league is going to be very different. They're going to be talking about him like he's a brokey. Like,
I know, which is fucked because he's definitely still richer than every other owner.
oh my god, man, it's gonna be hide your money. The poor folks are around when they see Mark Davis, and it's just like, dog, he used to be the swinging bundle of cash in the WNBA recently.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't know. It's weird. I don't, and I'm all for it because I want the players to get what, I don't know. It's so hard because of like I'm all for it in the sense that I want players to get what they deserve, right? Like I don't want these poverty leagues, but
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
same
yeah.
time, rich people are deeply awful.
Yeah, and we're not gonna see no like German soccer ownership model up here in North American sports like ever,
Like
where
ever
there's like
again.
51% owned by fans or whatever.
The
We're
Green
never
Bay
gonna see that.
Packers.
Yeah, but I think that's explicitly disallowed now. Is the Packers model? I think they're just grandfathered in, so we're just never gonna see that shit again.
Damn, that's actually really
Yeah.
crazy. But I mean, that's actually that's literally like a plot line in Ted Lasso, right? Is that like she sells part of that's why this fourth season is coming. I don't know if you watch the show. Yeah,
I don't
that's
think it
what
needs a fourth season, but that's not the point.
I have mixed feelings on it. A part of I'm both happy and like whatever about it. Like I would have been fine if there
Yeah,
wasn't,
yeah,
but I'm happy there is because I liked it.
yeah,
If that makes sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's gonna focus on the women's team, which is
It
pretty cool.
is, yeah, which is
Yeah,
what the point I was about to make. Whereas like at the end
yeah,
of the third season, right, she sells shares in in the team to the
yep.
fans to then raise money so they can start this women's team. Honestly, I'm just really happy the show's coming back because I just like Rebecca a lot.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
She's a cool rich person. We like her and her Rolls Royce. I would like that Rolls Royce. That would be nice.
So that is a tall British lady right there.
I'd also like to look like her. That would be also cool.
You
But anyway,
trying to get them shoulders? You trying to get them shoulders?
those arms. I wish I was like 6 feet tall. But alas, here we are.
It's overrated. Being 6 feet tall is overrated. I promise. You're not missing out.
Sure.
I fly commercial. It sucks.
Yeah, that's fair. I have long legs for my torso, so I do experience that pain a little bit. But
Yeah.
anyways, back to rich people. Yeah, like club fan-owned situations would be better. See also the Green Bay Packers always having this level of sustained success and very little drama.
Mm.
They get out of, like it's clearly a better model, like having people in charge, like being run by a board essentially and owned by your fans, because you can never really piss your fans off too much.
But also, do they have media in Green Bay, Wisconsin? Like,
They do. I mean, I feel like in some ways there's a lot more scrutiny because that's all there is.
they deliver the town herald via like Snow Dog or some shit like that.
They are the entire con there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think there's a D1 school out there, but nobody talks about them.
No.
Yeah.
They're once in a while in like the NCAA tournament or some shit.
Yeah.
Wait, no, is it? They were just like in the media in the summer, I think, or something.
Somebody took up coaching there and embarrassed himself horribly.
Yeah, on Twitter. He like tweeted
Yeah.
something and then he like his team was terrible and he was like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He used to be a TV guy. He went out there. He coached. It was a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
I'm furiously Googling. Oh, yeah. Doug Gottlieb.
Yes,
Named head coach at Green Bay, and he was a fucking tire fire.
That was a great fuck around and find out moment.
It sure was. It was beautiful.
Is there anything else you want? Or I guess, yeah, anyways, I guess to wrap up though on the whole sports washing thing, like in the WNBA, I'm curious to see eventually, I've seen some things floated about the potential of Unrivaled eventually just being absorbed by the WNBA. Kind of like an ABA-NBA situation. Not really sure, but we'll see. I don't think competition's a bad thing for the WNBA at this point in its history. I do think there should be some care to not, lose that league, but I don't think that'll happen. I think it has enough cultural cachet now. That something like Unrivaled, I just don't think it's ever truly going to get there, to be honest. Just 3-on-3 won't do it. And this Project B thing is really more as an overseas thing. I don't think that's going to sway American fans, really. It's going to be, you're going to be watching games at like 2 in the morning.
I do hope that Unrivaled leads to the U.S. taking 3-on-3 at the Olympics more seriously. I mean, I know the A team is still going to be the 5-on-5 team, but I'm hoping at least, they're sending some multiple WNBA All-Stars to the 3-on-3.
Kind of have been, to the Olympics at least. Well, some college more, but still.
Yeah.
You guys are still meddling, like, calm down.
I mean, it's in basketball specifically, we're supposed to win everything, which I realize is ridiculous and it sounds like we're very spoiled, but like it's the expectation. It's the expectation because I know that we can. It's just a matter of whether or not they want to commit to doing it.
Fair enough. Any final thoughts though?
We got like 35-year-old Jimmer playing 3-on-3 for the men's. Like, come on, man. Like,
okay,
Jimmer was in college when I was in college, and I am
fair though. I think
decrepit.
The U.S. takes 3-on-3 more seriously on the women's side than it does the men's.
Yes, 100%.
That's where I think
100%.
Maybe Unrivaled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I the 3-on-3 thing, like, it's interesting, and I think it's a cool off-season league. I don't know what the future of it is, to be honest. It could be really big, though. At the very least, it's very big in being a motivator to push for better in the W.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, any other final thoughts on this subject before we get to our next little bit here? Do some NBA.
Nah, man. Just hoping for some fucking basketball when May comes around. That'd be nice.
Same. I really am hoping for the inaugural Tempo season to be this year like it's supposed to be, because I have a gift card burning my hole in my pocket that I really want to use to come out there for a game. And we have a coach now. I'm feeling excited about it. I want to see a roster, I want more. So, cool. Well, I guess, do you want to do some stock up, stock down on the NBA so far?
Hell yeah. First stock up, me. I got tickets to go to Knicks Raptors for my birthday, so.
Yeah.
Let's go. I've been 3 years in a row and the Knicks have won each time, so I'm hoping for a repeat performance.
They probably will, but when's the game this year?
January 20-something, 24th? 28th? Yeah. Yeah.
The only time I ever saw the Raptors play in person, they played the Knicks and we beat the Knicks.
Must have been in the dark ages.
That was championship year for the Raptors.
Was it like Damian Dotson era?
It was like 2020.
Okay.
It was like Frank Ntilikina was still on the team.
Okay, yeah, that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know.
The Knicks were competitive for exactly 5 minutes.
I believed him. I believed in him, man. I really did. Frankie Smokes? Frankie Nicotine? He might be the lowest scoring player ever to have like a solid 5 nicknames. And every nickname was fire. Like, that's the most upsetting part. He had so many dope nicknames, man.
His good nickname to talent ratio was definitely out of whack.
Man, such a good on-ball defender. Maybe the worst offensive guard in the entire NBA. It was tough, man. It was tough.
I definitely miss
Picked him in the top 10, I think.
Missed that era of the Raptors, but actually, I got a Facebook memory about that game recently because it was actually
Damn.
like today, November 10th, was
Damn.
like the day that I went to the game. So hopefully I can come to a Tempo game. If I come out there,
That'd be
we're all
dope.
going together,
That'd be dope.
like roping you
I
in.
am, I am hoping that I get to cover some tempo games. I will be begging via email and maybe even in person.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask Sandy on Twitter, be like, "Hey, Big Sand, like, hook me up.
maybe
I've been a fan since your Mercury days. Like, let me in."
we'll bring you some wine.
Yeah, I can find some Shiraz for you. We got it. We're good.
I mean, shit, we can give her like a whole Niagara care package. I bet you I could expense it. Samples for WNBA coach.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll make it work. We'll make it happen. Yeah, I'm hoping that there's a season for sure. Anyway,
We'll be great.
any other? Do you want to go? So that was your stock up? Okay.
I guess the other one, the Chicago Bulls don't suck.
Believe it or not, they're
6-3. They're not like incredible, but you know they look like they can genuinely aspire to something better than their typical 9 seed and a loss in the play-in type of level of achievement. They have some quality wins. They beat Atlanta. They beat Orlando. They beat the Pistons. They beat the Knicks and the Sixers. They might be kind of decent.
and like the mini stock up within that stock up is that like Vooch.
Always been nice.
I mean, he's always been consistent. I feel like he was never just, I don't know, he's like not great. The trade was just never good. A good trade for them, but like, I don't know, he's been pretty good. I mean, he hit a game winner, I think. It's crazy.
Hey, Kevin Herter appears to be back.
Montas Buzelis looks fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Kobe White fits with Josh Giddey, because Josh Giddey's definitely been on a heater, but he needs the ball. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But I love Kobe White and his hair, so I'm super excited to see that experience.
Giddey is almost averaging a triple double. He is four tenths of a rebound and 7/10 of an assist away from averaging a triple double, which is
Yeah,
nuts.
like last season at the end of the year when he went off, it was kind of easy to like just brush it away as like, well, it's the end of the season. Like it's coming on for a certain amount of time. We'll see how long it lasts, but honestly, like it looks pretty real. Like nothing about it is looking like he's a new player. It's the things we saw in Oklahoma that maybe he's just around. He's got the right players around him now, which seems weird because I didn't really think that was the case in Chicago. But hey, what do I know? There's some decent defenders around him. He's putting in some effort. It looks like probably needs to get better still, but the Bulls.
First time they've been good in a minute.
I mean, since that like weird little quarter of the season when they had Lonzo and DeMar and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Kings, the new Bulls are 3-7. So
People always say the NBA is better when the Bulls are winning, and I have to agree.
honestly, Chicago not having a great team is the iconography, the logo, the fucking
and,
arena, the city.
The starting lineup song, like
Oh,
all of it.
all
But
of it.
it's weird because it's not even just what it like for me. Like I don't even think about it in terms of like the Jordan aspect of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it hangs over the franchise, but they're just a cool franchise no matter what, even without the of Jordan years or any of that shit, right? Because yeah, exactly. Like their branding, the city, like everything about it is cool, and they've just been so not cool
Man.
for a long time. Yeah, honestly, on that front, I will stay positive and go with another stock up with Detroit basketball.
Detroit basketball. Oh, hell yeah, man. God, I love going to Pistons games.
I don't know. The Pistons are so fun, and they're the #1 seed in the East. Literally, in 2 calendar years, they went from a historic losing streak to #1 in the Eastern Conference. That's wild.
They're damn good. They're damn good.
Cade deserves this. I'm happy for him. To be honest, they're still missing someone like Malik Beasley, so that's kind of ironic. But, like, they've been good. And, like, Jalen Duren's looking good. I don't know. They look like a good freaking team. And, like, a part of me honestly thinks, like, they let the Knicks off the hook in the playoffs last year a little bit, for sure.
Bit. Absolute bit.
Right? Like, I know it's probably hard to admit as a Knicks fan, but, like, they did.
It was a very winnable series for them. A very winnable series.
Exactly. So if they can just kind of continue to get a little more shooting and a little, like, that's just, like, the classic issue. So then you need that around a point guard like Cade anyway, so it's not the end of the world, but, like, looks like Duren's kind of figuring it out. Yeah, Ozar. I always get the Thompsons messed up. The Detroit Thompson is... He's hooping. He's reminding people how freaking good he was before he got hurt last year. Yeah, no, they look really good. I'm happy for JB Bickerstaff.
Yep. Good college.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously he's got limitations as a coach, just like everything, but I mean, I think it'll be fun. Regardless, like, you know, with Boston and kind of the top of the East, like, falling out with injury, like, it's been really cool to see the Pistons really take that mantle because we've all been waiting to see who would do it. And then I'm actually going to parlay this, though, into a just quick stock down. I'm just going to go again if that's cool. Because,
oh, man, I was going to add some Pistons thoughts.
No, sorry. Do that. Sussers. And then
So,
Stockdown related to this though.
for one, I'm happy that they're glad they're back at downtown and they're back good again. Which the fact that the Lions and the Pistons are good at the same time is fucking wonderful. The Tigers even are good now. And then people have like goofy reasons for rooting for individual players sometimes. For years on 2K, I would do expansion teams. Jalen Duren was always made available. In
Same.
like four 2Ks in a row. Jalen Duren was always available, and every time he would ball the fuck out for my team.
Yeah, he always
And basically,
my star.
and now he is playing like that guy, like in real life. He's averaging almost 20 and 10, or averaging almost 20 and 12.
Yeah,
He's turned into that. Him leveling up is huge for them, and like I'm happy to see it. I'm weirdly proud of him, even though, like I mostly know digital Jalen Duren,
It's
but
like
I'm happy for him.
It's like when you play fantasy football and you either love or forever hate a player because you had them on your roster once and they either won you your season or they fucked you over royally. It's happening to me right now with Travion Henderson. But anyways.
Yeah, I would buy a beer for Younghoe Koo. I would do it like in real life for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Totally. Well, for me, it's actually like really random. This is a deep cut for football, but it's like Tim Patrick. So
Okay.
I had him on a dynasty roster, and he was like balling out, and then he had those two catastrophic injuries. He had the Achilles and then the ACL, or vice versa. He basically had a full Klay Thompson, and I just started him again last weekend in dynasty because like I needed a player, and he's just been on my roster, and I've just always been like rooting for that dude because he was really good, and then those two injuries just like fucked him. And like him and Portland were like legit like a good 1-2 punch in Denver, then he got hurt, and it's just like so funny because I'm like he's such a rando like player to cheer for, but like I have a soft spot for him. I always will.
I was an early investor in Cooper Cup. I jumped on that industry the second it launched. I was
Same actually with me with Alvin Kamara. I'm a Saints fan, obviously, but like I remember watching a game in London, and I'm like, who's this like third string rookie who's just going off? So I like claimed him on waivers immediately, even though it was like probably a massive reach at that time. And he won me my season basically. So it's good to be never wrong.
man. They ride Camara till the wheels fall off, man.
Well, he signed an extension to stay, so that's on him, I guess.
Proper New Orleans boy. Proper.
Never, but we're never late. We're just early, so that's how I feel
Yeah.
sometimes. But yeah. I'm really happy for the Pistons, and yeah, Jalen Duren, I'm with you. I root for him all the time because I totally always take him in every expansion draft. And he's always fucking amazing, and I'm like,
Yep.
what does 2K know that the rest of us don't?
They figured it out. They figured something out.
Actually, if you want to, what's your next stock up or stock down?
So since we're talking about the Saints, New Orleans sports in general, we on stock down right now. I'm sorry. The Saints are. They did win on Sunday, but they are not in a good place. I think we can all agree.
Well,
Rashid Shaheed is going too.
Which is actually the goal.
And the New Orleans Pelicans are. I don't know what the best case scenario was for the season, but the hope was that, you know what? We have all these weird mismatched pieces, and Zion will come back and we'll figure it out. We're going to push for the playoffs, do something. They traded a first to move up slightly in the first round. Now they don't have their 2026 first. They must have thought they were chasing a playoff spot. Zion is back, and they are 2-7. And it is not looking like there's a whole lot of potential for it to get better.
What's the over-under on Willie Green keeping his like days until Willie Green gets fired at this point?
I didn't even realize he was still the coach until I read an article today speculating that he would get fired.
Dead coach walking.
They have the worst point differential in the West by a lot. And yeah, they're giving up 121 points per game.
Yikes.
Yep. Pour out one hurricane for the New Orleans Pelicans. They are struggling.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, at least
It's bad.
fucking cool. They got that.
At least Trey Murphy had like 40 points the other day. That was cool.
Yeah.
That's fun. I didn't know he could do that.
He is really good. Like, there are bright spots on his roster. It's just...
Now, you might be asking me how that game turned out. They still lost because they gave up 126.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
They knew that. I don't know. They're a mess.
Their only wins are against Charlotte and Dallas, perhaps the two other worst teams in the league this year.
Yikes. That's... Poor Pelicans.
They've lost by 30 or more 3 times already.
What do they do with Zion at this point? Like, they can't surely continue to build around him, right?
Trade him for Ja.
I've seen a lot of things saying they should reunite Ja and Zion because they played A.
Oh, man.
And put them both on the Pelicans.
Man.
I'm like,
Sure. I mean...
The
If
only worst
Memphis
possible
if
city for Ja
Memphis
Morant to go
was a
to is
questionable place
Atlanta.
for Ja, it's New
Yeah.
Orleans.
The only
It's an
possible
extreme.
worst, the only worst two cities that are possible for Ja Morant to
Chicago
go
and New
to.
Orleans.
Well, no, Chicago. Well, yeah, I guess Chicago. Atlanta also seems like a bad fucking idea because he goes there a lot already. And then fucking, yeah, New Orleans. Miami probably also isn't great, but at least the Heat have like a tight, like they'll kick your ass if you fuck up kind of culture. But
Yeah. Big Mob Don Riley out there.
yeah, yeah. Whew. But I mean, I guess we may as well transition. Speaking of Memphis, stock down. The vibes in Memphis are really fucking bad. So I was gonna say later a stock up for Finnish basketball, but Tuomas Isalo is not looking. I don't know. Him and Ja Morant ain't getting along, and it's funny. So I know lots of Finnish people. I lived in Finland, and I can speak to this. Is like so Tuomas has like a lot of stuff out there about how like upfront he is, and like he's all about just like say it out loud, get the problem out there, fix it, move on, right? Good communication. That's like a very Finnish thing to do. They're not passive aggressive people. They don't do well with passive aggression. Neither do I.
Mm.
It's the worst. They're pretty blunt. They're pretty quiet. They're pretty like just like upfront people. And like they're kind of different to get to used to. And I could, especially for Americans, Americans and Finnish people are like very different people. Finns don't dislike Americans, but they're very different. I don't know. Like when you're in public in Finland and lots of places, it's very quiet. It is not the case in the United States. Like people don't
Yeah.
talk. Like it's different. How you can coach people, how you can talk to people. And that's the other thing too, is also like the NBA is also a very different place. Stars need to be coddled and treated a certain way. And even if they came from nothing, it almost makes it even more if they came from nothing. You have to treat them even more with more deference. And it's a bit weird. But it's how it works. Except it seems like the European stars aren't like that, and it's obviously, I don't know, maybe some of them are too. But stars in general need to be, especially when you've had a culture catered to you the whole time, like has happened with Ja. Now there's changes, and it's almost like they've tried to go the other way, where they're like, okay, we catered to him too much. Now we need a coach who can kind of like discipline him more, or at least maybe make the culture more like open and honest. It's clearly not working. Like, because there's just like a level of engagement from Ja that you just aren't seeing. Like, he's isolating himself from his teammates. Like, I think Zach Lowe pointed it out on his podcast, where it's like one of the things that made him so special when he started was that he moved a lot off the ball, like just to like use his gravity to get other people's shots and get right. And he doesn't do that now. Like, he's just not involved. And it's like they fired the coach whose offense he hated. They've leaned heavily into the offense he likes, and he's still unhappy. And so I'm like, what's going on? What the fuck is happening in Memphis? And I don't blame like Grizzlies fans or people in Memphis for being like, oh, stop trying to like trade my superstar, because he matters to people there. But it's just like a strange situation. I'm like, are they going to keep cycling through coaches to keep him happy? Because that's never a good strategy. We've seen that happen and it doesn't work. So I don't know, but it's weird because the Grizzlies were in a good place like not that long ago, and now it is kind of they're like an existential bit of an existential.
Yeah, I'm having to like double check to see who's even still on that team, and I'm just like, okay, Ja and Jaren Jackson, and then
Which that two-man
some
game is
some
completely
guys,
evacuated. They
some
have
guys.
they have I mean, and so I feel like the Desmond Bain trade feels like a bit of a hedge towards a rebuild if things didn't go well with Ja. But what's really
Yeah,
messing me up is that like the Triple J Ja like their two-man game is completely gone. They were so dynamic together. That's why they both got paid, right? And then now that like it's gone, like none of that exists anymore. And I don't know. And it doesn't
Jock
seem
Landale is one of their top five scorers. Their roster's been gutted to an extent that I did not realize, to be honest. Cedric Coward is their number three. Like, not that he's not a good player, but like that's not a playoff team. They're in a play-in spot, granted, because the bottom of the West is horseshit right now. But like, your best player is a dude who is like consistently upset at everything. Your second best player is a 7-footer who averages 5.5 rebounds a game, and your third and fourth leading scorers are Cedric Coward and Santi Aldama. Like, that's not a good team anymore. There was a time when having two high-level talents like Morant and Jackson meant you were an automatic playoff team. That time is not now. There's so much depth in this league now.
and
You're not putting together a good team just like that.
they were doing really good with development in those years too, right? They had like those really like sort of sneaky bench players, but yeah, their roster is definitely eroded. But then on the other hand, they've been built around a star who hasn't been available for them, and so it's like, of course, the roster erodes because you're going to make choices to try and like prop it up, right? The Marcus Smart trade obviously didn't work. Certain moves like that, right? So I don't know, and I don't know what the solution with Ja is, frankly. Like I hope for everyone's sake that it works out there, but it just seems like Something's broken. And I don't know what's going on in the locker room. Like, obviously, I don't watch a ton of Grizzlies games, so I haven't really looked at the bench, but it's like, I'd be curious to know if maybe there's like a fracture in sort of like him and Jaren Jackson Jr.'s relationship in some sort of way. Like, is all the noise around Ja, has that gotten to be too much? Is Ja just isolating himself? Like, I'm not really sure. But
Man, they're gonna trade his ass to Charlotte at this rate. Like I would hate to see it too. And Charlotte is not a place where young careers go to thrive, man. Like
no. I mean,
basketball, Siberia.
I think a better team would take a chance, especially on a reclamation. Like, he's not even really a reclamation project, whatever that means. It feels like a disrespectful thing to say. But to try and get Ja back to where he was, someone else would surely trade for him. It's just, I don't know who would have the money and who. Again, if you would just have to trade out so much that by the time you get him back, there's nothing left on your team anyway, so you're in the same position.
Man, it's only 26 still. It feels like it's been around so long.
Honestly, because there's been so much noise. And I mean, like, I don't really. It was interesting. I think Ziller was writing about this. I think it was Ziller. How, obviously everyone's been criticizing Ja and his behavior and all that. And I don't really want to pile onto that. They talked about Jamal Crawford, I think, on their podcast, sort of talking about how, his behavior is just kind of disappointing because, like, when you come into the league, even as a young player, like, you look up to people. And he wasn't trying to say it in a way of, like, he should be forced to be a role model. Actually, sorry, this wasn't Ziller. This was Katie Heindel, Basketball Feelings. But it was just about how he is just kind of sending a bad message even to his teammates. And it's like, it's not even about like the public and how the public perceives you, but like your own teammates also kind of are looking to you. And it's like, what kind of message are you trying to send? Because like you should just send the ones you want to send. If you're not happy, then you're not happy. That's okay. But just like be clear about it. And it was just like really interesting. I don't know. I'm not really sure what to say about Ja. I like Ja and I really would like to like Ja more. I've been disappointed in him. I still like him, but I've been disappointed in his behavior. The whole gun thing was definitely just not it.
It was a pretty poor decision making, I think it's safe to say, without necessarily like casting aspersions on his character or whatever. I think I can say it's pretty fucking goofy decision making. I don't think that's a controversial take. Yeah, man, he's 26 now. Hopefully he's matured past that, but like, you never know. It was like not that long ago that we were watching him just like dunk on people and make these crazy highlight plays, and it seemed like there was something exciting happening in Morant world every day, and now like it's like the shit is few and far between, and the Grizzlies just feel like they're just like in the malaise. It might be rebuild time soon. I don't know. I hope not, because I'd love for them to have a good team, but it might be rebuild time.
I kind of wonder sometimes if like all of his injuries also have like contributed because it's like a chicken and egg thing. But part of me feels like with all like it's just his behavior like in general, like the poor decision making regarding like all the social media stuff, even just like outside of the social media stuff, like all the just like bluster about how hard he is, like all that kind of shit. And then on top of that, like he's had a lot of injuries. And part of me just wonders if they're connected in some way too, where it's like maybe you're just like for whatever reason you're not engaged, and so you're not taking care of your body as well, or if the injuries are just a fluke, but they're also then contributing to like just kind of a mental health spiral that's like leading to that or whatever. I don't really know. I'm not going to project onto Ja, but it's just like interesting that it's all kind of. I think it's all kind of connected to be honest. And yeah, like the malaise is absolutely correct. At the end of the day, it's put Memphis in a really crappy position. It's put everybody in a crappy position in Memphis, like Ja, the team, everyone. Because I don't think Issei's a terrible coach, to be honest. The roster is ass, so it's not like it's pretty hard to judge him. But yeah, interesting. Anyway, what do you got next?
And let's go. I feel like being positive. Not about this team in particular, but I feel like being positive in general. The Sixers appear to be good again. How about that? They also appear to kind of not really be the Joel Embiid show anymore. It's no longer watching Embiid bully his way to like 36 free throws a game. Tyrese Maxey's the leading scorer by a lot. He is averaging almost 14 points a game more than Embiid. Like it appears to be his show now. He's averaging 33 points, 8 assists. Like he's doing like Iversonian shit out there. But like with 3-point shooting. It's been nuts. Maxey I knew was nice because I remember 2 years ago in the playoffs he was cooking my team.
Even to
Like
last year to some extent. I mean, he was injured, but
yeah.
he was the entire offense last year. Yeah, the Sixers, I hate to say it, are actually fun to. But it's just so weird because it's weird seeing them not be good built around Joel. And it kind of just makes you wonder, like, are they just transitioning away from Joel with or without him at this point? Because they have to, like, they have to pick a direction. Because to be honest, I would lean towards that. Joel's an all-world talent, but at the same time, he's not available. And I think if you're winning, in this manner, you have to just kind of keep going. So I don't know. But it's weird to see them be like a guard dominant team instead of a big dominant team. BJ Edgecombe has been like a godsend in terms of just athleticism. Quentin Grimes has been so good there too.
Yeah, that half season of the team being dog shit and Grimes having to score 25 points a game has really paid off because now he's good for 17 a night off the bench. He's one of the probably the top candidate for 6 man of the year. And then Edgecombe, immediate.
Yeah, I'm curious. I hope that he doesn't fall off kind of rookie wall situation like often happens because he's been
Yeah,
amazing. He's been so good. Like yeah, incredible. Even Kelly Oubre Jr. Like he was playing so hard in Philly last year in that last season, and it's just nice to see them have a team that's playing hard around him now too because he's just like he cares all the time. And even though he's not an amazing player or anything, that level of give a shit really does matter. And especially in an 82 game season when a lot can happen
yeah.
and you have a team that's oft injured like they do.
And McCain's back. Like the Sixers have some really good guards right now. Some really good guards. There's almost too many good guards to pay them all a bunch of minutes.
It
Like,
actually breaks my heart that they're being bailed out of the terrible Paul George signing by these players. It makes me upset. Both as a Paul George hater and as a Sixers hater. It's just too much.
speaking of Paul George, Mon Green like called out Paul George for like running from the podcast grind. That shit cracked me up. He's like, you can't just stop potting when it gets tough. Like, are you really in it? Like, I thought he was talking about basketball at first. I realized he's actually talking about the podcast. I was like, I didn't realize
I
he was.
also thought it was AI at first. I'm like, this can't be real. No, it was real.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever made me feel worse about being a podcaster than that.
I hope we're popping enough someday that Draymond calls us out. Like, what do you mean you're bi-weekly?
Yes.
Are you really about this life or what?
Literally, that's the dream at this point. But I was like, I've never felt worse about being part of this medium because that is so douchey.
Podcast beef, man. You got to be the greatest.
God, what if we rot on the world with podcasts? What has this media form wrought on the world? Yeah, well, sorry, yeah, you did stock up. Well, I'm gonna do another stock down because apparently I'm just in that kind of mood. But
Man, Debbie Downer over here.
apparently, it's not like an entire stock down though. So my stock down is actually Trey's time in Atlanta, but it's like also partially stock up because like the Hawks look pretty good without him. Like they're clearly missing some shot creation and they're not a whole team without him. But you can kind of see the vision. Like this is like stock down on Trey, but stock up on Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels looks so good. And like Nikhil Alexander-Walker's starting to figure his shit out. Like the Raptors, I watched the Raptors beat them on Friday, and that game was a bit annoying because the Raptors were down for the first part of the game, and I was like, get your shit together. We beat these people already. And Tingus Pingus was bricking from outside, so I'm like, we can do this. But come on.
Australian stock might be up in general right now. It might just be
Yeah.
Giddy, Mondello, Daniels, everyone but Ben Simmons.
Is he still in the league?
I am uncertain.
Yeah, anyway. But anyways,
But
yeah.
I'm leaning no.
I don't really know what happens with Trae Young now, to be honest, which is kind of a weird thing I never thought I would have to say because he just felt like that type of star that was just always going to get maxed out. And it's not to say that he's going to be like out of the league or anything because he absolutely won't be. But I'm just really like curious. I never thought Atlanta would be sort of turning on him like this. But it kind of feels like they are, and it's not because they dislike Trey. I think it's just that it's so hard to play a style of basketball around him that consistently wins because he's tiny, can't play defense, and needs the ball in his hands to do anything. And he's a very good shooter and carries a lot of gravity, but it also helps to have other things around him. And it's clearly never worked having another ball handler. Plus, your defense is just like messed up trying to cover for him. So it's really interesting to see them find success. I mean, they're not like doing crazy good in the standings by any means, and they're still certainly missing him. But I don't know. Like, I'm genuinely curious what happens to the Hawks because he's owed a contract, and obviously thinks he's gonna think he's a max player. Probably is, but like. I don't think the Hawks pay him that. And like Zach Lowe has been talking about this ad nauseum, so maybe I'm just Hawk brained because of that man. Maybe it's his fault for me thinking about these things, but it's just like I don't know. I'm kind of curious what happens there. But Trey would be like useful in certain other teams too. It's not like he's a bad player, but yeah.
Yeah, if you can put him on a team that can protect him defensively, and also everybody's a sharpshooter and everyone can catch alley-oops, I guess. But like he's such a specific player that it can be hard to build around him. But yeah, it does kind of feel like they've kind of been stuck with him. If the Porzingis thing doesn't cause this team to take off, Jalen Johnson, Trae Young, Kristaps Porzingis, Onyeka Okongwu, it's a lot of good, highly drafted talent. If that doesn't get them past like the first round, then you got to think about changing directions. But then, like, what is his trade value?
They're 500
Yeah.
right now. Well, and that's just it. What is his trade value? Because at the end of the day, I think people they know what he can do. He's an offense unto himself. But at the same time, like, how do you adjust for the fact that he cannot guard a piece of paper, you know?
Yeah.
Even when he tries, it's not even because of a lack of effort all the time. He just, like, can't. I mean, honestly, I think the only team that could maybe cover up for that is like Orlando, but it's also kind of like at what cost? Because their defense has also
Yeah.
sucked recently,
Yeah.
which we'll get to. So I don't know. But the Hawks, I feel like they have something there with exactly like that core, like you said, and like Nikhil Alexander Walker's figuring it out. They've got good young talent and good just talent in general, and a good coach in Quinn Snyder. We know Quinn Snyder can win games, so like the Hawks should be better than they are, and it's starting to feel like a Trae Young problem.
I would say Jalen Johnson looks real serious.
He does.
Real
Yeah,
serious. 20 a game. He's averaged 5 assists now. He's upgraded as a playmaker. He's shooting like 58% from the field. Like he's the real deal. I don't know if he's championship #1 option, but he's got plenty of time to figure that
Also,
out. Plenty of time.
Stock up on the Hawks having New Orleans' pick from the Derek Queen trade. That's also part of the terrible vibes in New Orleans.
And they might pick #1 again in a draft that will be. There will be better talent available at #1 than there was in the Zachary Ricochet draft. Like there will be.
Wild. We haven't even talked about Zachary Ricochet yet, and he actually looks okay.
Pretty good.
Like he's nothing special, but he doesn't have to be right now, and that's actually kind of that's like so nice. Like imagine being able to pick #1 overall, and you can just like let that player develop a little bit because they've got some other good talent around him. They don't need him to be like the best player. So that's kind of like good. Like the Hawks are in a good spot if they can draft #1 off of the Pelicans pick. Like they've got a good infrastructure to absorb #1 overall picks, right? It's like the best possible worst team for a #1 overall pick to go to.
Yeah, Zachary Ricochet, like a rich man's Pacom Dadier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Perhaps even a very rich man's Pacom Dadier.
Yeah. It's like the Kirkland brand. It's like a very high quality imitation.
Yeah. Pacom Dadier might be the great value Ricochet. Actually, that might be the better way to put it.
There you go. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. I don't know. The Hawks are.
Hey, I mean, they are on that Bulls. That good old Chicago Bulls, 500 every year. The Bulls and the Hawks were right there, 8-9, 10 every season, and the Bulls appear to have escaped it for now. The Hawks are still right in the thick of it.
Atlanta Hawks Memorial play-in game.
A team whose performance matches the local fans' passion for the team perfectly. 500.
Them and the Brooklyn Nets, actually.
Oh, the Nets! Oh my God, the Nets!
I feel like that team matches the vibe of their fans, like just completely indifferent towards basketball, both the team and the fans. But anyways, we digress.
I don't remember who said it, but someone said if you're in New York, go to a Knicks game to see the Knicks. If you go to a Nets game, you're going to just see some basketball. Hey, I hear there's a basketball game in town. Oh, hey, I hear the Bucks are in town. Giannis might be fun to watch. You're not going to see the Nets.
Or you're going to see the Liberty.
Yeah.
You're certainly not going to see the Nets and their 5-point guards who are mostly out of the rotation already.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You're not like, man, let me go see my favorite podcaster shoot some contested mid-range jumpers. Speaking of podcasting basketball players.
Maybe he'll say something wild and have to...
Maybe he'll say something that incriminates another family member. I don't know.
Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. Oh, boy.
His brother gets arrested for gambling, and he's over there talking about, man, he ain't get no girls like me. What the fuck kind of storytelling is this? I ain't never had that problem, unlike him.
I'm actually mad at Jokic for opening up on his podcast of all places.
You probably asked him every day.
Any other fucking media form. Like, just do a fucking Q&A on your wife's Instagram. I don't care. But that man's podcast, that's where you chose to open up? Really? Come on.
He didn't even know he was going to be teammates with Cam Johnson. He didn't know that. He didn't know that opportunity was going to be there. That's an esteemed podcaster.
Yeah, well, he's actually speaking of Cam Johnson, he's actually...
God, get Jokic on Jeff Teague's podcast.
Oh, it'd be so good.
Get him on there. He's so funny.
It would be so good.
Jokic is sneaky funny, man.
No, Jokic is so good. And actually what's so funny too is like he had jokes on the Prime show. Speaking of which, like shout out to the Amazon Prime crew. That works like shockingly well. That studio show is like nice. Like it's
a good group.
Like a good atmosphere and a good group. Like I dig it. But oh my God.
I knew Blake and Dirk would be good. Udonis Haslem has impressed me too.
My favorite was Jokic's dig at UD. Oh my God, that was so funny. I died.
Oh yeah.
And that's just it. Like Jokic, especially because now that he's been in the league a little longer, he's a bit more comfortable with like English, things like that, and like he's kind of picked up like how to deliver here, and like He's
Yeah.
so funny, and I'm like, he'd be so freaking good on like even all the smoke would, and they're meatheads, so maybe not.
Oh my God. No, actually, I that would actually be amazing.
But it would be amazing. But
Who's the first player to bust your ass? I would love to hear that story.
him and
Oh no,
Jeff
that's
Teague,
knuckleheads. That's knuckleheads. That's knuckleheads.
him and Jeff Teague would actually be like the greatest podcasting duo ever. Like,
Yeah.
because I don't know, Jeff Teague is just so funny. But Michael Porter Jr. had to get the scoop, and that makes me angry.
Yeah.
Deeply angry.
Yeah. That's tough. That's tough,
Knock
man.
down Michael Porter Jr.
I would listen to a Michael Malone episode of All the Smoke. I would gladly listen to that.
Well, that would be good. Yeah, I mean, Michael Malone,
You know, he talks some shit.
maybe too much. Like, I love him, but I've got a lot of
Might talk
moments
himself
where
out of a job.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments where I'm like, yeah, you just sound petty at this point. And it's not even like the fun kind of petty. You just sound like an asshole.
Michael Malone, college coach, would be the greatest soundbite in the country.
Yeah. You know who Michael Malone reminds me of a lot? It's like, you've seen The Big Lebowski, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, like, Walter. And you know, when he kept saying, like, am I wrong? And then he's like, no, Walter, you're not wrong. You're just an asshole. And that's kind of sometimes how I feel about Michael Malone, where I'm like, you're not wrong, but you are an asshole.
He's so fun, man. I've never seen a coach have so much fun at the championship parade in my life.
That was elite, but like then to have him on the ESPN broadcast during the finals just fucking throwing strays at the Nuggets, and you're like, brother.
I mean, it's human nature. I can't blame him. I can't blame him.
But it's just like, sometimes I'm like, Coach, your saltiness is too much. But I will never forget my favorite Michael Malone moment. Also, we're wildly off topic, but who cares? My favorite Michael Malone moment was in like, I think it was like the 2018-2019 season. It was like kind of not the season where they like lost in the last game, but they made the playoffs the next year. It was
Right.
that season, I think. And the Lakers came to town, and there's always a lot of Lakers fans in Denver. I mean, every city at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
And I remember Malone agreed, or no, it was two separate moments, sorry. So then when the Lakers were in town at the end, in his like pregame press conference, he was like, basically told the Lakers to take the L on the way out with them or whatever, and basically like told Lakers fans to like let them get out of the building, like any like local Lakers fan, like fuck off. And like that was so cool. But then that same season, they went on like a 10-game winning streak, and he said that if they got to like 15, he would wear a headband to his like post-game press conference or some shit. And like he actually followed through on things when he did, and like he was such a good coach. I just think the power dynamic was the problem, and he's like a very
Yeah. Him and beef with the GM.
yeah. I think if Tim Connolly hadn't left, I think Michael Malone would still be coaching the team. To be honest,
I say most likely.
yeah, I think that was like the inflection point, and I honestly, genuinely believe Michael Malone's probably pissed at Tim for that a little bit too. It's like he went to like, first of all, our divisional rival and like the most like our rivaled team at this point.
And then beat them.
Yeah, that too. But just in general, I think he was probably mad. And Kelvin and him, I don't know. Weird situation. But anyways, back off of the Michael Malone tangent. Do you have a stock up or a
I had one more stock down. The bottom of the Eastern Conference is a graveyard. There are three teams that are 1-9 that all have at least a minus 11 point differential. That's the Nets, the Wizards, and the Pacers. And then there's also the Charlotte Hornets, whose record is just 3-6, not horrendous, but they're also the Charlotte Hornets. So, you know.
What's weird though is that the Wizards actually like look kind of fun. They're not good.
Yeah.
They've got some stuff going on there where you're like, yeah, okay, I see it.
Yeah, they're the worst team in the league, but at least it feels like, okay, that's kind of what we're going for here.
They're like the Detroit
You know.
Lions a couple years ago, where you're like, you're really
Yeah.
bad, but I see where you're going with this, and I'd like to see this through. Because I think
Yeah.
that they've got something in Alex Sarr. Like, Zach Lowe kept calling him Mr. Almost, because he was just like, he'd get so close, like, make such a nice move and then blow the shot, or just like little things. But it seems like this year he's kind of figuring it out. Keyshawn George looks amazing.
TJ McCollum is there somehow, for some reason. That's neat.
Also,
Trey Johnson, his teammates had to convince him that he needs to do things other than basketball because he was so laser focused on hoops. They were like, please get some hobbies. They had to beg him to get out of the practice facility, which is an interesting type of young boy for sure. And then, man, like, the Hornets are just, I'm sorry. It pains me that the people of Charlotte have to think about that team on a regular basis.
they have cool branding, though.
Yeah, great branding. Occasionally LaMelo does cool stuff when his ankles aren't, like, falling off. Colin Knuple might be a ball player.
Yeah, Brandon Miller looks pretty good if he doesn't go away from... Did his whole court case get resolved? Did anything ever happen with that?
I don't know. I'm also surprised that he's the 5th leading scorer on the team. I figured he would be more central to their whole
He's been injured a bit.
operation.
I think Giannis?
Yeah, he's only played 2 games this year.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then, because I was like, he doesn't play it a lot. Back to the Wizards quickly. Stock up Canada basketball, Keyshawn George. He looks
Yeah,
baller.
super efficient, apparently.
Yep. I don't know. The Wizards at least look kind of like they're on their way up, but yeah, the other teams are garbage. The Nets are just like we just talked about, moribund. I want nothing to do with them. They're as gross as the gray court they play on.
Marvin Bagley plays for the Wizards. I did
Yeah,
not know.
that man is
Wow.
around a lot. Uh-huh.
Hey, the Wizards have a guy named Bug. If you can't get behind that, like, what are you gonna do?
Carrington might actually be something too, which is fun.
Yeah, he leads the team in assists.
My related stock down to this one is Pascal Siakam's shoulders carrying a lot of weight in Indy, because that poor
Mm.
man's just he's out there fighting. He's spinning his way to the rim. and
Just
trying.
in the finals, and now the team is 1-9.
They're trash, so yeah. But I'm gonna brighten the mood with the stock up, and I'm gonna go with Giannis just yamming on people. Like it's just like I just wanna see Giannis dunk on people. It's like I wanna see
Yep.
dingers, socks and dingers, the whole Simpsons thing.
Yep. Mash some taters, man. Yep.
And that's what Giannis is doing. He is having a Shaquille O'Neal style domination of the paint situation. The Bucks, he might just drag the Bucks to the playoffs, kicking and screaming, with or whether they want to or not. Also, Ryan Rollins apparently a player. That's
Yeah, real. Apparently he's a hooper.
happy for him.
Second leading scorer on the team.
Happy for Giannis to have a wingman, I guess. But yeah, Giannis is just like yamming on people, and it makes me happy. Nothing brings me joy like seeing him dunk on people. And then talk
There
about the fact
is,
that he kind of hates America. That also is fun.
in my home, I have one basketball jersey that is not a Knicks jersey. It is a Giannis jersey. I am culturally obligated to have it. My mom is a black Greek woman. There are not a lot of black Greek celebrities. I am bound by blood to have a Giannis jersey, and I do have one. We both have one.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. No, Giannis has been good. The Bucks are meh. I don't really have a strong desire to watch them, but I like watching Giannis. So they got
Yeah,
going.
he's
They
playing.
got going.
His stats are 33.8 points, 12.3 boards, 6.2 assists, shooting 63% from the field, and they're 6-4, playing like average-ish ball. Like everyone is kind of like a fourth option on that team.
Yeah,
Like
look at the rest
basically,
of the roster. It's not
yeah,
not great. All right. Well, you want to do one more each, and then we can power rank this wine and get out of here.
yeah. Gosh, should I end on an up or a down?
Well, I have one more down if we want to go that way, and you can end on the up.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say Greek hoops, man. Giannis is obviously playing out of his mind, but there's a young Greek man at Virginia Tech whose name I cannot remember. I'm mostly improvising because I ran out of stock ups and stock downs. Neoklis Avdalas. He's at Virginia Tech. He is fucking hooping. He was a 5-star recruit brought over from Greece, and he is balling his ass off. Kind of like a not basketball powerhouse, but still in the power conference. And he's whooping ass, man. He's whooping ass. He looks like he could be a future first-round pick. And there hasn't been a lot of Greek players in the NBA lately, so I'm hoping that he's kind of like the next one, because there's been a handful of like long shot second-round picks who haven't really panned out. There used to be more guys around the league, but like Vasilis Spanoulis and guys like that. But it's been a minute since there was like more than one prominent Greek, and I'm kind of hoping he kind of ends up being the next one.
Seems like Greek basketball's on the way up though in general, because obviously like they won Eurobasket and then got
Yeah.
bronze in Eurobasket, and then
Women's team's looking good too.
the women's teams, yeah, like rated their top 5, I think, in Europe right now. Even like Panathinaikos, like those teams like in EuroLeague have been really doing well too. Seems like Greek basketball is kind of seeing a renaissance right now, which is really exciting, led by
Yep.
Giannis, which is really exciting. You know what? I'm gonna finish on a positive too, and another small country that also had some Eurobasket success. Stock up on Sandro Mamu Kalashvili. Georgia. Georgia actually was a cool story during Eurobasket because they lost somebody close to the team before the tournament, and then they ended up like making it to the knockout rounds, which was nuts because Georgia is a tiny ass little country, crazy. But anyway, Sandro or Mamu was like we got him from the Spurs, and when we first signed him, I was like, okay, cool story, bro. Like, I don't have an opinion. I don't know what to say. I always thought he was like interesting in San Antonio, but I didn't really watch a lot of Spurs games, so I don't know anything about him. But quickly becoming a favorite of mine, at least in my heart. He just seems like a very fun vibe. I'm a big fan of big bearded Eastern European centers. Long history of that in my life with JV. So, yeah, love him. But no, Sandro's been fun. He's also been good. Like he's a stretchier five than I knew about. He's been like hitting from downtown. He's added an element to the Raptors that's been very interesting. He's been shooting 43%, which is probably not sustainable. Uh, because his career 3-point percentage is like 35%. But even his career 3-point percentage being 35% is very good considering Jakob Poeltl cannot shoot outside the restricted area.
Mhm.
Helpful to have a player like Sandro who can do that. And he's picked up some pretty immediate chemistry with Jamal Shed, who has been a revelation off the bench this year. His offense has really come around. As Jakob's been fighting these injuries to start the year, it's been really helpful having Mamu. He hasn't started yet, but they've given that to Colin Murray Boyles, so we've had a time. We'll start small when Pearl gets hurt, but Sandro's definitely added a new element to the back or to the front court that we haven't had in a long time or at all ever. And just in general, we at least have like a real front court rotation right now, which is kind of nice. It's not just all 6'7" players. He's not super tall. I guess he is only 6'9", so he's smaller as far as like centers go, but he fights hard and he'll get you rebounds. And he's quick. He runs the floor hard. He's a rim runner. He does what you want him to do. And he's just been really fun. Plus, it's also really fun seeing Matt Devlin say his name. So that's also been interesting.
Shout out the Raptors, man. I hope we fuck them up when we go to the game in January. Sorry. I'm not sorry at all, but like, go Raps. I'm happy to see the team doing okay. Respectability.
They're figuring it out. Brandon Ingram, as I predicted, has been what we needed. We needed somebody to help the half court. Anyways, let's power rank this bad boy, this wine, and get out of here.
It's grown on me. My first sip, I was like, oh, it's like more tart than I expected/wanted, but no, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like when I first, it needed some time to open up for me.
I think it's top 20 for sure.
Okay, so the Tempranillo, the last Spanish wine we had, the Campo Viejo, we have at 20. I would say it's
over the Beaujolais. I think the Beaujolais for me is the line of like stuff that I think was like fine and stuff that I thought was like good.
Fair enough. See, for this one, for me, I would probably put it above the Cannonball. Kind of like it better than the Cannonball.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I think the Stoneleigh was pretty good, so I'd probably put it below the Stoneleigh.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Plus, the Stoneleigh was a nice change of pace for me. I hadn't had a Sauvignon Blanc in a minute.
Fair enough.
That's one of my favorite white wines for sure.
Alright, well, it's official. This one is the 18th best wine we've had so far of the 30 wines we've tried.
Hey, that's an NBA draft worth of, that's a first round worth of wines right there.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need to, I don't know.
Just like the real NBA #1 pick out of France. Typical.
I wish, so Italy's rankings in this wine list are disproportionate to the quality of Italian basketball players. But
hey, I will defend Danilo Gallinari until the end. That is my guy. The Italian stallion.
I'm loving Cecilia Zandalicini as well. She's been real fun. I will say this, though. Our list does accurately reflect the place of Americans in terms of, like, the MVP discourse these days. It's a lot more European. And
I was going to say, yeah, because we can't really find American wines right now because of reasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a top 20 pick here.
It's not bad. Yeah, like it's pretty good. I bought one of the whites from them as well. I'm genuinely curious to try a Verdejo. But yeah, we haven't been able to do a lot of California wine or American wine, so it's not really fair to say that, it's super reflective of the list of, MVP candidates with Americans not being in there. But for sure, been struggling with that. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I haven't heard any word about LCBO bringing it back, but we'll see.
Nah, not until Trump leaves office, let's say.
Yeah. It's tough, though.
Yeah.
Everyone's losing money on the proposition.
He wants a third term. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, he wants to be a dictator, so let's be honest.
Yeah. I'd like to remind the audience at home that you're only allowed 2 terms. I'd like to remind everyone at home. For now.
FDR changed the rule, I'm pretty sure. Or they changed the rule after FDR, I'm pretty sure they can change it again.
Yeah.
Anyways, on that note, we're definitely going to have to, now that we have, a full draft worth of wine, we're going to have to redo the NBA wine pairing article I did. I'm going to have to redo that for our purposes. We'll have to maybe do that as an episode or something. Could be a good time.
Yeah, some of these wines are going to become second-round picks.
I mean, we don't
overseas stash and develop.
These wines specifically, but yeah, we should do a wine draft of some kind for sure. But on that note, I guess could probably wrap up here. But we will be back in another week or two. I'm sure more drama will take place in the NBA because it is the NBA. It never sleeps.
Yep. Well, we'll be back when Ja gets traded to Utah.
Yeah. Salt Lake City and Ja don't know what's kind of coming for them. I don't think either of them are going to know how to adjust to that. Yikes. Anyways, on that note, yeah, please leave us a review on the listening platform of your choice, 5 stars preferably.
Yep.
Um,
At wineanddimepod on Instagram, Eds, Twitter, and something else probably.
Clock app, TikTok.
TikTok. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. We have been a little lax on posting some clips from the pod, but we'll make sure we do that. Gonna try and make some power ranking graphics or at least some other stuff like that. And also get back to doing weekend wine pairings where we pair NBA games with wines every weekend. So more to come through the winter here. Yeah, on that note, we'll see you later.
8-2. 8-2. Until next time. Later.